morning and welcome to the retirement recap for Wednesday, July 1st, our Fiduciary Friday episode, but we're doing it on a Wednesday because of the holiday coming up. And with me today is Rob Milas, our Chief Investment Officer, and Mark Salamone, our lead consultant. And Rob, I know it's only midweek, but I'm going to start with you. It's also the end of a quarter. So tell us what's going on.
What a quarter. So we end the year, at least in large caps, at almost a dead heat between the bears and the bulls. In the smaller caps and some of the other more beaten up areas, obviously we're still in the negative territory. But I think as this market has rallied, so has the wall of worry. Concerns around, hey, are we way ahead of ourselves? Are valuations getting stretched? Number one. Number two, obviously, is COVID-19 reemerging. I guess be prepared for a volatile second half of the year. And don't forget, it is an election year. So that is also going to come into play, kind of later on in the year as well. So be prepared. It's going to be another rocky road for the second half of the year is what I'm thinking.
All right, thanks, Rob. Certainly a volatile quarter. And in that volatile quarter, many companies were wondering if they could suspend or stop their match formula to increase cash flow for their company. One of the ways you can do that is if you have a discretionary match, but formally with a safe harbor match, you're not able to do that. But the IRS actually came out with some clarity about what you can do in this pandemic, and Mark's going to talk about that.
So safe harbor match is a popular match for a lot of 401k plans because it helps allow the company to avoid the annual compliance testing. You still have to do it every year, but just by offering that company match or contribution, that match or company contribution gets you out of a lot of the compliance tests that a lot of times trip up some retirement plans. Well, what's different now with this notice is that employers prior to this could only remove the match if they were operating at an economic loss, or if the notice they provided earlier in the year announcing the match said specifically that this match might be removed. And most employers right now might not have clarity on whether or not they're at an economic loss. And a lot of employers don't have that language in their notice. One other change to this is that if the match is to be altered to remove highly compensated employees, and that's defined as anyone making over $130,000 this year, you can also do that. Why that's significant is that companies that still offer this match to the non-highly compensated still can get out of the annual testing requirements. So there's a lot of good news there, and there's a lot of things that plan sponsors can consider if they're really looking to improve cash flow and remove what can be a costly employee benefit.
That's great, Mark. It's certainly flexibility with a match structure that normally is not known for flexibility. So great news there. Thanks so much. And we're going to leave you with this. It's 4th of July weekend. Obviously, this year is a little bit different with no 4th of July celebrations and parades and other things. But last year's celebration of fireworks in Boston is something that we'd like to leave you with for this weekend. So have a great 4th of July holiday. We look forward to being here for you for Q3 and Q4 and getting through the rest of this year together. And thanks so much. Have a great holiday.